Alright everyone, I gotta forewarn you, I'm drinking eggnog for Christmas and I'm getting drunk, so this review is gonna be wild and crazy. Spoiler alert, this movie, wow. Hello everyone, Dragon Souls here and welcome to my new movie review. And before I get into anything, I got to sit here and say one more time, spoiler alert, if you have not seen this new movie it's called The New Mutants, I advise you to stop this video right here and come back to it later when you have watched this movie. Spoiler alert, I am drunk as hell right now, and I really don't give a shit what you think or anybody thinks. If you haven't seen this movie yet, you better not be fucking watching this video. I am drunk as fucking shit right now. I am wasted. So, here we go. On a day, staying like crap, and I'm gonna get them in. There's three, my no, I'm kidding. Um, um, so this movie starts off with this little girl and her dad. Apparently her and her dad are mutants. And now, first of all, before I get into anything, let me just say, when you look at the picture, it says the new mutants. It looks like they're evil mutants, and even when you watch the trailer, it looks like they're evil mutants. Okay, going around killing people. Okay, but it's nothing like that whatsoever. Okay, so this man and his little young daughter, they're mutants, okay? And apparently he wakes her up. He wakes his daughter up, and the house is on fire, and people's going nuts right now. Cars exploding. Cars are driving into the place, you know, catching the place on fire. The whole place blows up, you know. He tells her to grab, hold on to his hand and do not let go, and keep running, you know. And they run, you know, and it looks like a tornado is right behind them, you know, and it's roaring, you know, and it's coming after them, you know, and you don't know exactly what's going on and what's chasing them or anything, you know, and then all of a sudden he has her going to look like a little tree log and telling her to stay in there and don't come out, and that he's going to go back and do his job and save them and save everybody. When he comes back, his body falls down and falls towards her, and he's gone. He gets killed, and then she runs, and she gets out of there and runs, and the thing keeps chasing after her, and you know, and next thing you know, she gets knocked out. She falls down, and she trips, and she falls down the hill, knocks her out, and then next thing you know, she wakes up, and she looks like she's in some kind of looks like a nut house, some kind of house, you know, some kind of home, to where they help you out, you know. And when she wakes up, she's got her handcuffs on, and she don't know what the heck's going on, you know. She's all confused and everything, and so then she talks to her, this lady, who's supposed to be a nurse, and she talks to her and she tells her what's going on and tell her that she is the last she's the last one. there is nobody survived, and she's trying to tell her that she's the only one that made it. That nobody else survived, and so to find out, there's other mutants in there other than her, and they're all there because they're trying to figure out what the power is and how to control their power. And the thing is, the nurse confesses to her and tells her about her family, and that what kind of doctor she really is, and to find out, the nurse also has powers. The nurse also has power, and she's a mutant as well, and she knew what her powers was, which was a force field. She has a force field shielding the entire place, okay? And to where they can go outside and walk around wherever they want to, and feel like they're free to go wherever they want, and not trapped or be imprisoned, and so this girl is named Danny. She goes off and she's trying to, and they're trying to figure out what her power is, and trying to figure out what's going on, and this blonde-headed girl is such a bitch, she's an asshole to her and an asshole to everyone else, there's one guy is kind of an asshole as well, but she gets for a good while she gets to know him, and there's one girl who's a lesbian, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. She's a lesbian, and she never been with a guy, never been with a boy, and she's never been with a girl. She's never kissed anyone before, and so she goes up and she was talking about this and that, and all kinds of stuff going on, some things happened, and then the blonde-headed girl, she told her, and she said, well, since you're up, she told this blonde-headed girl she can give her a tour. Since she's new, she can give her a tour of the whole place and what she can do and everything. So she found out that they went outside. She found out that that there's no fence, that they can go wherever they want. They can run off if they want. So she goes, and Danny goes off and runs off, tries to run, and she tells her run faster. So she runs as fast as she can. And then when she getting somewhere, there's a force field out there, and she smacks right into it and had blood come out of her nose a little bit, And then she's like, I can't believe you fell for that. Ha 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 ha. Being a real bitch, And then she sits there and says something to her, And then all of a sudden, she gets her so pissed off, and she runs right at her and tries to hit her. And when she does, she teleports to somewhere else. And then later on, she spikes that girl's drink, the nurse's drink, to where it knocks her ass out cold. Okay. They go up and they do all kinds of things that they want to do. They do truth, and they do not truth, kind of like what you call truth or dare, but it's not, and they don't call it dare, they call it truth. About what they this that. And they hook them up to things that ask them a certain question, and if they answer it, and it starts going like this here, it means it's like that they're lying, and so they was doing that for a good while, and then all of a sudden, she and Danny and that other girl, well, first Danny was going up into the clock tower, she was kicking that stuff. It looked like a boards and stuff out of the clock, you know. And she went on the edge of the building, and was looking down, you know, and she was thinking about jumping, you know, killing herself, you know. And that girl was talking to her and told her talked her out of not to doing that, you know. And then she became her best friend, you know, and helped her out, talked to her, and all that good stuff, and then wound up being her wound up turning into her girlfriend. And they all of a sudden they were sitting there. It looked like some kind of graveyard, and they was laying down, you know, and looking at the sky while it was raining, and you could see the force field when the rain hitting the force field and everything, which is pretty awesome, you know. And then they started talking, and next thing you know, they're kissing. Her and them two girls are kissing, and I kind of and you get to thinking, yeah, I kind of figured that was coming, you know, because the way they're talking to each other, you know, you can tell that they're starting to be girlfriend and girlfriend, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And that's all they do throughout certain parts of the scenes of the movie. They sit here and kiss, you know. And that girl, and that blonde-headed girl, which is a bitch. The boy finds her in the swimming pool, and found out she can turn into a mermaid, and that's one of her powers. And he went in there and he talked to her and he found out, and he took off her clothes except for his shorts. You know, he had shorts on. He went in the swimming pool and talked to her, and he started kissing her for a little bit, you know. And it looks like they was about to make out, you know, have sex, you know. And all of a sudden, he turns her down and says he can't do it. And he explains to her that and told her that the last time he was trying to make out with he had a girlfriend, and he trying to make out with her, and he winds up killing her. And he didn't do it on purpose; it was an accident. But he has a power that he couldn't control it back then, and he still can't control it. And it's like he can turn into the Human Torch. And thing is, he didn't, and all of a sudden he sat there and said that, and so she sat there and said, well, it's okay, don't worry about it. You ain't gonna hurt me. But don't ever touch me. And then I'm like, wait a minute. First you wanted to make out with him, and then you told him it's okay for him to touch you, and now you're telling him to back off and back away and not to touch you. What the hell is your problem? These fucking women, I'm telling you, these women are all the same, you know. And all of a sudden, after she says that, she takes off, and then she teleports somewhere else. It looks like she actually is a mermaid, but then all of a sudden, she swims away, and then she teleports out of there. And then all of a sudden, there's something comes up from behind him, and it's a burnt body. But thing is, he sees her, he sees it, and then all of a sudden it comes like this. He comes like this here, you know, and all of a sudden he tries to get out of the swim. He gets out of the swimming pool, and then all of a sudden she gets out of the swimming pool too, and she's like all on fire and everything, you know, and he's like yelling, and next thing you know, the alarm goes off, and then she wakes up. The nurse wakes up and then finds out that what's going on. She pushes it and she knocks him in the swimming pool so that way he can cool off and become instead of being the Human Torch, he can be normal. You know, the fire will be gone. You know, and so then he talks to her. He talks to her about him about it, you know, and she tells him that she was there the whole time, you know, and she said, no, you was the only one in the swimming pool. She was in her bedroom the whole time. And I'm like, that's not how it was, you know. I don't know what the fuck is going on and what they're talking about, you know. So then all of a sudden, they're still trying to figure out the powers, you know, and what powers they have, you know, and they're starting to learn what their powers really are. And Danny still hasn't figured out what her powers is until later on. And right in the middle of it, that's when she finds out what her powers really are. And she's watching them while they're in bed asleep. She's watching them overnight to see what happens, and find out that Danny has the power to use their nightmares of what they're afraid of against them, and make it come real, to make it come real. And that blonde-headed girl is like, she uses magic like Astron Maturion Synthos. You know, if you watch Teen Titans, the cartoon of Teen Titans, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Her name is Raven. She's kind of like her. She can say, she can all kinds of powers. You know, she had the guy is almost like the Human Torch. You know, they give you an Easter egg of they talk about the X-Men. You know, and they're talking about they're there to learn their powers and how to control it. You know, when they finally later on they finally realize what their powers are. But and the thing is, and they actually find out what Danny's powers really is. But thing is, she finds out, and she even finds out what her powers is. But thing is, she can't control it, and she don't know how to control it. And then all of a sudden, the nurse looks on the computer, and it tells her about Danny, and tells her that she's too dangerous. Her powers are way beyond what they can imagine, and she's dangerous and too dangerous to keep. So they're gonna have to kill her. And so they didn't know what was going on, you know. And then until they found out, she was trying to put her to sleep permanently. And she saves her life, you know. She gets in there and she saves her, you know. The one girl that is her girlfriend can turn into a wolf, a werewolf, you know, and it's pretty damn awesome. She gets in there and claws her to death, you know, and she's all bloodied and everything, you know, and she's trying to tell them this and that, you know, and they get her free, you know, and she's okay, you know. But then all of a sudden, she has she tricks them, and she puts a force field on every single one of them. And then all of a sudden, she's there and says, if you'll all settle down and relax, I'll set you free. But her, I gotta kill her. She's going to be exterminated. I can't let her live. And they said, why? And they said, she's the one who's causing all this. She has to be stopped. We had to kill her. And she's like, no, you're not going to do it, you know. And then all of a sudden she kept taking a force field and lowering it down to where it looked like she was crushing her. And all of a sudden, her force field that she had all the way around the building, all the way around the place, is down. Danny goes up and takes the force field down, and then all of a sudden, you hear a roar, growling, you know, and then all of a sudden you hear it looks like, it sounds like something's running towards the building, you know, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a bear rips through the building, and the bear is coming from Danny, and that's her fear, and that was her fear. And to find out that was what was chasing her and her dad at the beginning, and she all of a sudden she was knocked out. Okay, she was almost dead. You know, and they couldn't, and they was trying to wake her up. She wouldn't respond or anything. You know, and that bear was actually grabbed and got a hold of her and got a hold of that nurse and ate her ass up. And I was like, yes, there you go, kill that motherfucker, kill that bitch. She fucking deserves it. She's trying to kill her, you know. And then all of a sudden, they all get together and they start fighting that thing, and it gets really fucking good. I mean, the combat, the special effects, you know, the way they done this movie was fucking outstanding. They keep fighting her, and she's like, take her. He's like, I can't. He's like, I'll burn her. She's like, trust me, you got this. Carry her. So he gets her and carries her to the clock tower, and it looks like the church. And when they get in there, they're still sitting here fighting here, you know, and everything else, you know. And then that girl, her girlfriend, almost gets killed. Almost gets killed. And you know, and she says, well, the only way we can take care of this bear is her. She's got to take care of it. We can't do it. This is not our fear. This bear is her fear, and she's got to face it, and she's got to take care of it. So then she finally talks to her dad, and she gets to talk to her dad, you know, and he explains to her about what happens, you know, in the past, you know, about the bear and everything, about him get killed. And she apologized to him and to her dad, and she said, "No, don't worry about it. It's not your fault. And that was just an accident, you know. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. But you need to wake up. Your friends are in danger." And she's like, "But that bear is big." He said, "No, you're big. And that bear is big, but you're bigger." And then all of a sudden she finally wakes up, and she calms the bear down. She talks to the bear and calms it down, you know, and to where it goes away, you know, and everything goes back to normal, you know, and the force field down. They can go wherever they want, you know, and she thanks them for saving her life, you know, and he's like, are you kidding me? We didn't save your life. You saved ours. She said, and I said, thank you. Said, we appreciate that, you know. And then they became, all of them, even the blonde-headed girl, became good friends to her, and for saving their lives, you know, and getting them out of that place, you know. And overall, the movie was overwhelming. Outstanding. If I was you, I'd have you some Kleenex or tissues or toilet paper if you have to blow your nose and wipe your tears now, because you're definitely gonna need it, because it's definitely gonna make you do that. This movie was fucking outstanding. I strongly recommend you watching this movie, either renting it or buying it. I'm going to give this movie before I give you a rating of this movie, the characters on the people on this movie, the characters on the movie, they did a fucking fantastic job. damn great movie. Damn great. They did a damn great job on the acting on this movie. I give this movie 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, and I give it a good solid 10 out of 10. That's right, everyone. I really fucking love this movie. I really did, and I really enjoyed it. Even though I'm half drunk, even though I'm drunk right now, I don't give a shit. 10 out of 10. That's it. Thank you all for watching this movie review. Be safe. Wash those hands. Stay healthy. And I'll see you on the next live stream of Watch Dogs Legion or Cyberpunk 2077. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have a wonderful and safe night. Dragon Souls, signing out, and a Merry Christmas to everyone. And to all, a good night.